What's up everyone, Colonel Fats coming at you with episode 5 of the Fatty Fighters training series. In this episode, I'll be going over DPs and invincible moves, how you can use them, and how you can defend against them. Let's get started. Alright guys, so to get started, what is a DP? Well, in terms of DragonBall FighterZ, there are moves that have Invincible startup, which we'll go over in the training. Everyone's level 3 has it, so everyone technically has a DP, aside from some special level 3s, like Cooler's ground level 3 is a counter, so it's not really a DP, but it works in the same fashion. But some characters, and not actually a huge amount, at least from what I know, I've played a lot of the cast, but not everyone, but these are the DPs that I know of. I'm pretty sure it's all of them in the game. I showed them right at the start of this video, but just to go through it real quick, Gogeta definitely has one. It's this quarter circle back medium. Goku base Goku, whatever you want to call him. His if you cancel his Kaioken into his right bumper right away, it acts as a DP, goes through everything, gets the invincibility property. Moving along the list, only one of the Vegetas actually has a DP. Cooler has a very good DP actually. It can side switch depending on which follow-up button you go with, kind of like how 21 works if you've seen that guide. Moving along, Cells is kind of a DP. It is and isn't. I've tested it. It doesn't actually give you the full invincibility properties, but it acts as an anti-air, so it's basically a huge hitting anti-air, so it kind of functions as a DP, but not perfectly like in block strings like we're going to be going over. Vegeta, I would argue, has one of the best DPs in the game, if not the best. What I'd argue that gives a character a better DP than others, hugely, is can they do it in the air? Because there's a very sweet sparking blood mix you can do if your DP is you're able to do it in the air, and Vegeta can do that, Gogeta can do that as well, and so can Cooler. So those are some pretty nice mixes. Then everybody knows the two favorite boys, Gohan and Gohan himself. Both of them have a DP. Could be a little complicated because adult Gohan's DP is quarter circle forward medium, and little Gohan's is quarter circle back medium, so can be a little confusing input wise. I don't really use DP characters that often. Hidden Gem, worst DP in the game, but Videl has a DP as well. It's her quarter circle back S. It just does not have a lot of range. It's kind of its big underside and can only do it on the ground. It pretty much has all the bad qualities of that makes the DP bad. That's why it's on the bottom. Like I said, Team Gohan's got one. And then Beerus is actually didn't work properly at first, but they buffed it and fixed it, so his DP is actually really good because it also shoots Ki Blasts, and the Ki Blasts count as the DP as well, so they will stop you. And yeah, that's about it. It goes for the cast for DPs, so I'm going to pick my team and we'll get into training. Alright guys, now that we're in training mode, let's get started. So a DP in terms of fighters is a move that grants you invincibility, and the way we can check that via training mode is really nice. You just go into the display settings, go down to invincibility info and turn that on. You'll see this little invincibility bar goes there. So just to kind of explain how this menu interaction works, you can really test a lot of things, and say everyone knows 2H beats Super Dash, right? Well, why exactly is that the case? Because there's sometimes where you'll be in a match and you'll be online and it'll be like, oh my god, he did that 2H so late. Like, you'll Super Dash, you'll like land on the ground, see this little thing, and they will 2H you, and it'll be like, what, that was so late. Well, if you see it, invincibility, if you check there, it says jump attack. That basically means anti-air, so it gains invincibility on startup when countering an anti-air attack. So that's essentially how that works. Now, if we're going with an actual DP, kind of the focus of the lesson here, Vegeta's is quarter circle back medium. See how it says full invince there? That means he's not only anti-airing, but he's anti-grounding, he's anti-everything. And just to give an extreme example, I've got Vegeta set here to do his level 3 against me. we'll just show you how invincible it is. Just he shoots the beam, go right through it. Literally, like there wasn't even a beam there. He shot it right over his shoulder. So DP, when it says it's invincible, it truly is invincible. And if you say, "Oh, I mashed DP, I was doing that," your timing was off, because this is like full. Like this will go through everything, provided that attack came first. Now, say I do the DP early and he final flashes me. Well, the invincibility frames are gone. The move's already happened. So then I get a little fucked. So that happens. So now that we know what a DP is, how can we apply this in match? Well, there's some certain scenarios where it really can give an edge to your play. You know, you always hear people bitch about, oh my god, he raw level 3. Well, the raw level 3 is a DP. It is 3 bars, but you get the invincibility properties. Now, like the characters in the start of the video, they all have an actual DP that does not cost meteor at all, and we know that Vegeta is a quarter circle back medium. So there are certain scenarios where this really comes in handy. If you see my other videos, in the block string, and the defense, the -5 rule, on which moves are, if a move is -5, you can reflect or you can backdash. Well, there's another option given to certain characters, or technically everyone, because they all have the level 3, is to DP. Now, DPing in that scenario where you're unsafe to hit buttons, but there's enough of a gap to do it, you're gonna win each time. So, I've got Vegeta here set to DP on a counter attack. So I'm gonna do the vanish scenario from the episode 3. Where we vanish and we know we're pretty much they're -5 off of the vanish, so he's gonna DP. So if I try to hit buttons there, even though it's my turn, his DP is it activates. It has enough time to activate. Just like if he were to reflect, he could reflect there, but the DP is an extra option that Vegeta has that can gain him some free damage. So I said earlier that the DP is another defensive option for your character. So another aspect is to use it while you're blocking. It can be hard to time because you have to do the full quarter circle motion and then the medium to time it. But if you notice your opponent doing little delays in their strings, leaving gaps, or isn't doing a move that doesn't actually lead, like there's a gap so you can reflect. If there's a gap where you can reflect, there's a gap where you can DP. So if your opponent's lagging their strings, or you're just noticing it's just not working, throw the DP in. So I'm just going to do a little slow string at this guy, so just a light, then delay the 2M and M. So if he hit light in this scenario, he gets beat, and I'll show that actually. So he's going to counterattack with buttons. See, he gets beat because there's not enough time for his light to interrupt my 2M. But there is a clear gap there. So if we set him to do his 2H, which we know is quarter circle back medium, and we do that same gap, we get punished hard. So it's an extra defensive option if you notice your opponent's strings aren't tight. They're trying to stagger their strings, so you'll hit a button. Kind of scary to stagger your strings on DP characters, because especially if it's the first match you're playing against them, you don't know what they're going to do, so you're almost forced to play a little safer against these characters just because of that option. Now then again, the pros kind of test each other out at higher difficulties, so this really can work a lot in lower difficulties where people just don't know what's an actual true tight string. So the DP is a very effective tool as defense in block strings. Another cheesy way to use DP, it's really simple, but a lot of times you can kind of tell when your opponent is going to spark. You've crushed them, they've got a lot of blue health, they want it back, they're going to spark, or they're down to their last character, they still have spark, one touch death, they're going to spark on wake up. Well, if you think that they're going to spark on wake up, time it so that their spark comes first. That way you DP invincibility through the spark and then punish them for the kill. When the game first came out, I died a bajillion times to Vegeta DPing me through my sparks, and it was really sad. I've got our friend here ready to spark on us. Goes right through the spark, and usually, it's a desperate situation, so they're done. they're just done. So it's a really, really cheesy good option for that. So now that we've landed our DP, how exactly do we get combo from it? Because we can clearly get combo. The most obvious way is to just vanish. This works with every DP character. You just do your vanish setup and do whatever combo you feel finishes it. I'll be honest, I don't really know Vegeta that well. I just know he's got a DP. So that's a way, and I've been messing around. You can confirm assists with this. Now, the 2 assists I have are really weird because they're also DP characters, and I just have their A assists. So, but it is possible. You hit that DP, call in that assist, and then bam. Now, I lost my super dash, obviously, so you gotta mess with it. But you can confirm with an assist with the DP. Obviously, you're gonna have to lab it out depending on what your team is. The assists are 8 years to Sunday nowadays in Season 3, so there's a lot of different ways. But it is possible. So, can definitely be worth it to save a bar and meter gain. If you're going to DP and vanish, you can use an assist instead. But like I said, the timing is tight, so you kind of almost have to predict. I'm hitting that DP. I know I am. You can do some weird stuff like that. I don't know this team. I would never play this team. Not at all. But they're a DP team, so that's why they're here. So one thing I wanted to quick add, and I actually had to look in the internet for this one because I wasn't sure, and there wasn't a surefire way to test it. But there's a bajillion Gohan players out there, so I was able to find the answer. But if you notice, Team Gohan's A assist is his DP. So does that retain the properties of a DP, of the invincibility? Yes and no. I say yes and no because yes, once the move comes out, he goes up, yeah, he's going through everything. He's gonna just DP through the shit like he normally would. But if you notice, there is a small time where he shows up, lands on, he like teleports in and lands on the ground. When he's doing that, he can actually get hit by like a Kamea or just a normal or anything, and then he won't do the DP. So the invincibility isn't just immediately like if I had a DP character do it, but it is good to know that the assist will go through stuff. Boom. So there you have it. So you might be thinking, Invincible uppercut DP? Wow, that seems really bullshit. Why the hell does only like 9 of the cast have that? Well, it's very punishable, so don't think it's like the best thing in the world. Yes, it's an extra tool, so it is very good, but I mean, other characters do have extra tools as well. I mean, the Brolys have hyper armor. I'm not going to touch on that in this video, but you know, there are other things rather than DP that give characters individuality, I guess you could say. But also, there's a huge way to punish this. If you notice, I turned on my frame advantage because just to show. So if I do a light, it's -3 on block. So with the -5 rule, I can reflect or backdash. Fine. But what happens if I DP? I am -30. That is, oh my god, I am open for business. If you block your opponent and they block your opponent's DP and they have no bar, 2M, just 2M that. Like you could get up, go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, come back, and then 2M punish him. That's how much time you have. That was exaggerated, but you get my point. Like you are so open, it's crazy. Now, if they have a bar, you have to assume they're going to vanish. Now, if you're the DP user, you want to delay that vanish as much as possible, or not even do it, because your opponent should know or has learned by now to you're punishable. So if you just vanish right away, even if you do it immediately, there's not enough hit stun. You are going to get 2H if they 2H. But if you delay it and they mash 2H, there is a possibility that they 2H and then you vanish. So you actually vanish away from the 2H. So it's very important as a defender to be patient and wait. I always pretty much punish my DPs with 2H unless I magically see that they have no bar and they just decided to DP me like a crazy person. Because like I said, you can delay that for a long time, and then if the defender mashes 2H too fast, then the vanish actually wins. I mean, you don't get much for it, but you don't get 2H punished. So it's kind of like a safeguard, but it is a guarantee that if you delay your vanish or delay your 2H as a defender, you will punish that vanish. Another quick thing to mention is why to always look out for the vanish is your opponent, even if they have assist, you can't call an assist while you're DPing. You have to do it right before or right after, which right before doesn't really make sense, and you can't until you land. So you can't call assist to get out of this. That's why the only thing you can do is delay your vanish. Like, if you DP and they block, you're pretty much screwed if your opponent knows what they're doing. You can't call an assist. Just wanted to get that point across. Alright guys, so I originally wanted to touch on safe jumps and how you can avoid DPs, level 3 punishes like that, but I'm actually going to make a separate video for that because this one's getting a little long. But what I wanted to really emphasize is why I said that characters with an air DP and a ground DP work better, and there's a really good mix-up. I have to throw it up to my boy Nambo. He used to be in the Fatty Fighters tournament, which I will probably be bringing back in the future, but he would do this to me all the time, and because I didn't really know about it, it destroyed me. But if you're in Sparking Blast, you can hold your vanish. Like, that's kind of basics. You can hold vanish and then you teleport behind them, and you don't actually do the kick. You just hold it and you're there. So what you can do if you're a DP character that has an air DP, your opponent's conditioned, as we just learned, to 2H DP. I blocked his DP, I'm going to 2H him. Well, if they're sparking, Vegeta can do this nasty thing, and I'm going to show it. He's set to guard all, but I'm going to set him to counter attack with 2H. So he's going to 2H my punish. So normally, do that, he wins. Good for him. But if I'm sparking, I can vanish, hold vanish, and then DP his 2H. It's crazy. Now, you do lose your vanish that way, so the only way to confirm the combo after that is to use an assist. But another huge part of that is Vegeta and Sparking can DP safely. Because say your opponent's going to 2H, and you're not sure if they're going to 2H punish. Maybe they will, maybe they'll just wait, because they actually know you're in Sparking, so you're not actually completely open. So what you can do is actually just air backdash out of the way. So you can safely DP with an air DP character. Actually, you can do that with any character who has a DP in Sparking. The air DP allows for the punish of the 2H, but in Sparking, DP characters are safe as long as you know what to do. Hold your vanish and then back out. Now, there, my backdash was too slow, so his 2H still caught me. So it is a timing thing, so you kind of got to get used to it. But that is a huge plus for characters like that. You know, say your opponent doesn't have a lot of health, so you're gonna go up, you try to block their DP, and you get hit. But then you DP, and they're just in a health range to eat a Final Flash and die. So this is a very strong technique. It's very wary. It's important to be wary of characters with DPs. It's the long and short of the video. If you have Spark, do not try and 2H punish them, because they're safe. That's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you got some learning on how to defend against those crazy DPers, as well as use them if you're one of those nasty Gohan players that I hate so much. But I really do appreciate all the support on the YouTube channel, guys. Remember, like, follow, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And if you have a specific topic that has been frustrating you, or why does something work, hit me up. I've been playing this game pretty much since the first DLC dropped, and I haven't stopped playing it since, so I've got a lot of knowledge. And I just also wanted to emphasize that these videos are kind of meant for beginners rather than pros. So if I did get something wrong, please correct me in the comments. I would love to learn what I'm doing wrong, as well as inform any viewers of anything I may have done wrong as well. But again, this has been Colonel Fats, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.